Because this is the absolute weirdest thing. I won't actually call him to come pick me up. Because you're playing a hotel, she's acting very differently, and I just want to go live right now. What's wrong with you? What do you know? I'm about to continue fighting. I am about to have my man come and pick me up. Bro, stop following me. And even though you were supposed to be my friend, you want to fight. I'm mistaken. I'm capturing it. I'm recording this video live, as I said. Whoever you tag back home and know is like family to me right now. I will live, and I will continue to live while I text him to someone. It's bizarre, all the time. She is furious because my man visited last night, but is not present right now. Can you please stop? The public is appalled by the fact that Shanquella Robinson's case was an open book on friendships that cost people their livelihoods, as evidenced by a live video of a woman being violently attacked by her friend. In the video, it looks like the woman being attacked had to start a live on her phone in case something happened to her while she was on the girls' trip with her so-called friends. It demonstrates that she was extremely concerned about what would happen to her and was attempting to take precautions against her own friend for someone to resort to such behavior. The girl says that her man came to see her on the last day of her trip, which seems to have upset her friend, who started being verbally aggressive toward her. This is how the whole thing started, the girl says. The fact that she claims to have paid for the errand is odd. The case of Shanquella is also in line with this information. In addition, Shanquella was the one who paid for the extremely pricey villa in which she and her 6 Kebo friends were spending their vacation. In contrast to Shanquella's situation, another person can be clearly seen in the video attempting to prevent the aggressive friend from pursuing the single recording. Shanquella's friends, in contrast to the live recording, did nothing but watch as their dearest friend was assaulted. They only asked her to at least fight back and recorded the fight. It's possible that the reason they were so angry with her was because she hadn't told her friends beforehand that she was bringing her man on the final day of the trip. However, this does not alter the fact that it was the right decision for her to be aggressive with her friend and attempt to fight. Instead of trying to fight, she could have just walked away from her as a good friend and told her why she's unhappy with the situation. These kinds of cases have been going on for some time, and it becomes extremely frightful when a person's own friend hates and wants to harm them. Take care of yourself right now and be careful if you are traveling with anyone. Stop talking to someone when they start acting strangely and move on with your life. Even though their girlfriend paid for the errand, some fans are defending the aggressive woman by arguing that it was impolite and uncomfortable for a man to arrive unannounced on a girls' trip. First of all, a girls' trip without boys should absolutely remain a girls' trip because some people might feel uncomfortable. However, the girl claims that on the final day of the girls' trip, the aforementioned man went to her route, implying that she took her boyfriend to her room because they each had their own rooms in the errand. They should have informed her immediately, rather than waiting for her man to leave before attempting to beat her up because he came, if they also had a problem when she first brought the man to the house. She claims that her friend was aware that her man would be present, so why did she suddenly decide it was inappropriate? Additionally, the friend brought her cousins, even though they were girls. If the victim paid the Arab and was alone with just her friend and her cousins, she might have been lonely and called her man over for the last night. Additionally, he left quickly. He fled. However, they ought to be my friend. The people in the video are my friends. The friend throws a glass, which falls to the ground. Why bust it up at a nice place if you feel disrespected? That was a very trivial circumstance. It would have been discussed, ignored, or simply dismissed by someone. They probably wouldn't have agreed to invite all of that woman's cousins to a girls' trip. It's similar to being outnumbered. However, this other woman throws things and breaks glasses while she has her boyfriend over, and he doesn't even stay overnight. They should have both left earlier if she had any ill feelings about a man being there. Additionally, her friend's decision to begin the live video is quite logical because based on their aggressive behavior. She may have hurt her, but who knows? It would have been the same situation as Shanquella once more. She should have called the police on the violent one, rather than taking the video and locking herself in the bathroom because, frankly, she was in danger. Friends of this kind will always exist. Those who feel entitled and would take others for granted are the aggressive types who want to flex their strength and power. It is not worth the suffering and hurt you will eventually endure if you encounter these characteristics while attempting to maintain friendship. In a previous post, Shanquella discussed fake friends, and the same fake friends proved her right. The tragedy could have been avoided if she had separated herself from her real friends or taken additional precautions to shield herself from them. But her friends betrayed her because she had blind faith in them. Because the woman who assaulted her was one of two people in her friend group who worked in the health department, it seems as though they had already planned to kill her. In addition, no one suggested that the way she was beaten would have an effect on her in the long run. Or they should have simply disclosed their actions toward their friend to the medical personnel. Additionally, Shanquella might have had a fighting chance, just maybe. Those who have spoken up are still lying about the situation, and nobody is speaking the truth about it. We have to fight through it together if my friend and I are going through something. That simply means that no one will jump in. She tries to explain that they didn't intervene in the fight because his friends fight in a sound clip of allegedly Winter Donovan. Nobody separates it. They didn't fight. Shanquella didn't look back. Her friends were watching as she was brutally beaten and thrown about. She asserts that Shanquella wasn't dead after the fight, and that the spinal neck injury was just a fabrication. So, why did the friends tell lies? When the mother of Shanquella inquired about the fight, why did they pretend that the fight never took place in the first place? Also, why didn't they tell the doctors before they beat her, which could have hurt her? No one spoke up, and no one wants to, demonstrating that their friend was hurt even though they did not touch her. Even though authorities have claimed to be conducting an investigation, nothing has been said about what will happen to the Cabo 6 in more than 2 months. The FBI's Charlotte field office started an investigation into Shanquella's death, and Mexican authorities were also said to be looking into the doctor who treated her and the 2 police officers. Even though no one was named, Mexican prosecutors issued an arrest warrant for one of the Cabo 6. Actually, there was no argument. However, Daniel de la Rosa Ania, a prosecutor for the state of Viva,